started 25 years ago, believes that its best is yet to come.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. And even when I saw Young Turks 25 years, I told you the same thing. I said, my God, we've come a long way. When you look back, I mean, it doesn't feel like 25. I think life in the internet industry is life in the fast lane. Till 6 months before the IPO, we weren't even planning an IPO. It was Sanjeev Bikhchandani, who was an independent on our board,
Who said IPO?
who told us on a January board meeting that, guys, you are ready to IPO. We said, what are you talking about? He's saying, yeah, 3 years ago we were at the same level and you guys are growing faster.
What's the most unusual celebration case that you've seen?
I believe they're now break up and turning single again
What,
parties.
break up and turning single again
Again,
parties?
their parties and get-togethers. like, listen, now guess what? We're all single, we party. But all kinds of stuff is happening,
Yeah.
as we know. Like, proposal economy is happening, yeah? People now, youngsters are choosing exotic locations to go make a proposal, and they actually travel.
So for the last few quarters, we see our frequent travelers are actually taking more trips than they were ever before. Right? It's a combination of short-term vacations, and
Yeah.
we've seen trends like
The YOLO phenomena
The YOLO.
is here to stay.
and Gen Z, and it's real, and Gen Z.
"25 years ago, a young man called Deep Kalra decided that he wanted to get into the online travel business. 25 years later, MakeMyTrip is one of India's leading travel companies and has seen a record-breaking 23-24. Here's the MakeMyTrip story over the last 25 years in numbers. 80 million plus lifetime transacted customers, 490 million plus app downloads, 519 million shopper visits. That tells you of the story of MakeMyTrip over the last 25 years. In 2010, they decided to list on the Nasdaq. They've seen a flurry of acquisitions through the course of their journey, and there's been plenty of learnings, plenty of setbacks, but it's been an exhilarating ride. Joining us now to talk about the story, the last 25 years, but more importantly, the next 25 is Deep Kalra and Rajesh Magow. Deep, Rajesh, many thanks for joining us. Deep, let me go back 25 years. So much has changed, so many low points in the course of your journey. On many occasions, it was almost a question of, will you be able to make it through? But you have, and you survived, and you're here to tell the tale.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. And even when I saw Young Turks 25 years, I told you the same thing. I said, my God, we've come a long way. And when you look back, I mean, it doesn't feel like 25. I think life in the internet industry is life in the fast lane. So it moves so fast. I mean, you can look back and typically, I think somehow it's waves of five years for us.
Yeah.
It's been that kind of story. So first 5 years were all about, I think, just survival.
Yeah.
And you know, making sure that, yeah, we live to see another day. At least 3 of those 5 years were really dark. But when I look back, the best years, because that's when really, you know, a germ of an idea became proof of concept, became a business, started making money. The team was together and we were really, there was a shared common passion, dream. And then it actually was happening despite all the odds. So I think that was a great period. And 2005 to 2010 was just this ferocious run to IPO.
Yeah.
And till 6 months before the IPO, we weren't even planning an IPO. It was Sanjeev Bikhchandani, who was an independent on our board,
Who said IPO?
who told us on a January board meeting that, guys, you are ready to IPO. We said, what are you talking about? He's saying, yeah, 3 years ago we were at the same level and you guys are growing faster. You were growing 50%. You should IPO.
And this is a man who didn't know whether the Nasdaq would in Patparganj or in
Well,
New
this is a man who knew a lot actually and still knows. But he told us and we took it very seriously. We were surprised at the meeting. Rajesh was CFO then and we put our heads together and he called a meeting. And I think for the next 6 months, he and the auditors and the lawyers, they just pitched tent in office. And in 6 months, we had IPO'd. August 2010, we IPO'd on Nasdaq, being one of the first internet companies from India to IPO there, first travel company from India to IPO there. And it was great. And then I think from 10 to probably right up to COVID was overall a really good run. Some hiccups, of course, when Kingfisher went down, it kind of challenged the whole domestic air industry. We were very domestic air dependent. We started building out a hotel business in right earnest. But it was a pretty good run till then. We had a huge acquisition. We acquired Go Ibibo and Red Bus at that time. Learned a lot about how to assimilate large acquisitions, and then COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you the short version. And I think COVID all over again was truly, I won't say near death for the company, but it was a complete reset because our business went down. We reported a quarter, we were 96% down on revenues. And it was crazy because, this was national lockdown, of course. And to come back after that, to restructure cost base as much as you can. Obviously, COVID had to lift, but the way travel has come back, we all know.
Yes.
Now, you can't get a room, you can't get a seat, everything is double the price. But people have, I think, in their minds have said, listen, if I have a bucket list, I'm going to tick it off now. I think we as a company came back stronger because we went about restructuring cost in a very serious way. Like we said, okay, fixed costs, wherever we can reduce, we should. Some of the toughest decisions ever were taken, which is, yes, we had to let go of almost 10% staff, which was very hard. Have tried to take many of them back as things have got better. But I think we came out much stronger, definitely stronger than industry. And as crazy as it sounds, I think our last year has definitely, by all measures, been our best year ever. Over the last few years, we've seen growth and profitability both come together, the holy grail of the internet world.
Yeah.
We probably, I think that's what a couple of VCs had reported, we probably make more EBIT, more profits than any other internet company in India, which is a great, it feels really good. And it's a biggish company now. So when you look at the number of people and all, it's a little scary. But, knock on wood, couldn't have asked for a better 25 year script.
And an appropriate sort of 25-year gift is the fact that as you said, you've reported your best numbers ever, 46 million in quarterly profit. That's your best performance, $11 billion in market capitalization. So it's been quite a run. But Rajesh, before I get to the numbers, I want to actually talk about how you and Deep got started, your exit, and then your return to MakeMyTrip, because that's also an incredible story. And it's really part of what keeps MakeMyTrip going.
No, absolutely.
You should share that.
No, I know, and that's a very, very interesting story, and I guess Deep likes to put it always saying maybe it was destined to be like that. So here it is, the way it has started. So I joined, and Deep was looking for a founding team at that point in time, which is Deep's idea. Deep set it up in 2000, and I approached him. We had a meeting, really long meeting, and I think I was in that meeting decided that Deep and I should work together. I should rather work with Deep, because the way the whole meeting happened, the way the whole conversation happened. One, of course, the new age startup idea was an interesting idea, and I was getting ready to get into a new age startup because I had the corporate experience behind me. I had worked with Aptech for about 5 years. After that, there was actually a NatTech startup that I worked for about a year. So it was a bit of a dry run for me, just to get into like a full-fledged sort of startup. I was getting sort of ready for that. So those two things happened. But here's the most interesting part that happened. So, after I said, yes, I'm ready to come and work with you, and Deep explained it to me, MakeMyTrip, here's the idea, and we've raised some money. We've got some money. We've got like $1 million already, and we'll get another tranche of another $1 million, because there was the $2 million that was raised.
Which I promised you was our promise from our VC.
Yeah, it was the promise from the VC.
They backed out.
And then it so happened 1 month down the line, the circumstances changed, and Deep called me once, and I remember I was in the car, I was driving, I parked my car near the Taj Hotel. I think I was just coming from the work. And Deep said, in all his honesty and transparency, he said, I have to share an update with you. I said, what's happening? So he said, I told you that there's going to be some more money coming in because the developments had happened by then. And they're backing out and we won't get that money. I just wanted to let you know. And I don't know whether you've quit from your previous job or not. But it is only fair for me to share this update because this is the new development. This is very different from what we had spoken about. And the second thing is, so therefore I wanted to actually give you an opportunity. So you think about it. I wanted to let you know this information. And to be honest, and I told that to Deep at that point in time, because it actually further sealed it for me. And I'm saying, here's the man who's actually coming back. Who would have cared? I mean, see, Rajesh has just agreed to join and he's coming on board and joining. Who would have cared to call and said, here's the development, we may not have money? Because when I actually joined, Deep was in the US trying to actually look for more money. And we had only 1 month money, like literally 1 month money at that point in time. And I said to Deep, I said, don't worry about it. I have actually quit already. But even if I had not, I had made up my mind. And, we'll sink or swim together.
I remember those words so clearly.
Yeah.
We'll sink or
He
swim
said,
together.
we'll sink or swim together.
Yeah. So, because I was ready for it. I mean, so it was just a matter of, and also it's just a matter of just clicking sometimes, right? So you like a particular person and saying, well, we'll figure something out, right? I mean, we go there because that is what we have to. In any case, it was supposed to be 1 million is nothing, right? I mean, it just gets you going.
And at that time, it was 48 rupees. So 1 million was actually much less. It was barely 5 crores then.
But small money, right? I mean, you're not going to build long-term sustainable business with that small money. So in any case, it was going to be first job that I had was to start looking for more money. So anyway, this is how it started. And then, because before we started, we realized that India wasn't really ready, right? So then not only the money was the issue, but the other development that happened, SARS happened, and the product market fit was not there. India's internet ecosystem did not exist at that point in time. So we were definitely pre-sunrise at that point in time. So then we was wondering about, what to do. So I think the better sense prevailed and we said, I don't think we can launch in India, so that pullback happened. And then the niche was sort of
NRI audience,
the NRI audience. Yeah. And then we started, and then e-bookers from UK, and that's the other part. And that's why when I went on the other side and came back later on, and that e-bookers actually deal happened because of the circumstances, because they came in and they said that they wanted to set up an India unit. So they were looking for management team, they're looking for domain expertise, and they found that in us.
Ready-made unit.
And ready-made unit, right? So, so few people. So Deep and I were doing, sort of
both
joint role
for
a while. And then I moved on the other side. And we got some money out of it. And MakeMyTrip just got stock money and cash. It was a cash and stock deal that happened.
It was our IV solution.
It was an IV solution.
We were on life support.
Yeah.
And so we had that arrangement and someone needed to be there. They wanted, Dinesh Tameja wanted both of us there. And I said, that's really hard because MakeMyTrip's my baby. Yeah. But Rajesh will run it and I'll also be overseeing and all of that jazz. But that was our arrangement that, we needed, so it was a build, operate, transfer. We got fees, which kept our fires burning. And I think the big lesson there is that you pretty much do anything and everything.
Whatever it takes
within the realm of obviously, staying honest and staying straight. If you believe in something, you find a way. And that's when I look back and I tell young entrepreneurs even today, just don't give up too early.
What you said, and I want to get both of you to comment on that. You said, sometimes people give up too early, and your advice to entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who are watching this program at this point in time is don't give up too early. But what does it take to find that kind of resilience, to build the courage, to have the conviction to say, I'm on life support, but I ain't giving up?
Yeah. I think it's a couple of things, and now I've thought about this a lot because all hindsight is obviously 2020. I think the first is complete conviction in your idea, what you're trying to do, not necessarily how you're trying to do it. You can be flexible on the how because technologies change, things change, but what you're building, what this solution, is it indeed best in class? Best in India today, best in world tomorrow? Is it something where you can take on anyone because you've got, a great product, because your back-end technology is smarter, faster, more efficient? Because you found a customer insight which no one else knows. So you have to have conviction in that. If you're iffy about it and you're like, yeah, maybe whatever, sort of, then it's not for you. The second ingredient is definitely core team. Whether they're co-founders or their founding team doesn't really matter. These are people who've got to share your vision and your belief and actually add to it. By actually questioning and debating and making that thing sharper and better, saying, okay, listen, this is our proposition, this is what I thought, but I have these 2-3 people around me who are constantly questioning and maybe making that proposition even sharper, but also believe. And the third is, while the numbers will tell you where you're going.
Yeah.
So we are definitely creatures of numbers, both Rajesh, me. At the end of the day, in numbers we trust, because it'll tell you, where are your conversion metrics going, your whole funnel, is it getting healthier, is it getting better at a micro level? Even incremental changes on a week-by-week basis means you're moving in the right direction. You just have to bridge a gap. And the X factor is, I think that's the gut. That's what an entrepreneur will know. It's your gut instinct. Listen, isme abhi kuch hai. Let's not give up right now. Let's push it a bit more.